Why do priests pour gallons of milk, curd, and other stuff on the temple idols? God never asks for such resources to be wasted. These liters of milk can feed hundreds of poor people. There's no point in holding on to these meaningless rituals. How insensitive. This is something every Hindu has wondered at least once in their lives. The answers that our elders gave were not convincing enough. So should we conclude that Abhishekams are indeed meaningless? Don't let your curiosity die yet. Invest the next 10 minutes of your life on this video and get enlightened. Vanakkam and welcome to the first episode of Hinduism Simplified, in which I will be throwing light on prejudiced Hindu practices and their real purpose. Check out the description box for reliable reference materials for any doubts and questions you might have. Coming to the point, what is the purpose of Abhishekam? Many of our temples are several centuries old, and so are the idols. For anything to last that long requires maintenance. Let me elaborate. The idols are anointed or given an Abhishekam either weekly or fortnightly. For Shiva, it is on Pradosham, for Amman on Fridays, for Ganesha on Sankatahara Chaturthi, and so on. The Abhishekam uses components like milk, curd, honey, coconut water, panchamritam, sugarcane molasses, turmeric, and sandalwood paste. The components are poured onto the idols one after the other, with 2 or 3 pots of water wash after each component. That is the prescribed agamic procedure. The idols are mainly made of stone or metal alloys. When left dry, they tend to heat up, chip away or corrode, and disintegrate. The fat content in milk, curd, honey, and molasses moisturize the idols. Sandalwood paste and coconut water cool them down, and turmeric prevents any kind of fungal development on the idol. The fact that these idols have stood the test of time is proof enough that this is a successful method of maintenance. And just about now you might be wondering, why not find synthetic alternatives for the purpose and use the traditional components to feed the poor? Is it absolutely necessary to dump the food item in the sewers? It is very unfortunate that today many of the temples let the Abhishegam drain away into the sewers. But that is not how it is meant to be. The Garbhagraham necessarily has a pranalam or a water outlet for the Abhishegam drains. There is either a canal or a small tank that is built underneath this pranalam. If it is a canal, it leads to the temple gardens where the drains are absorbed by the soil. If it is a tank, the cleaner in charge carries the drains in pots and pours it to the Sthala Vriksham and any other trees and plants that is there in the temple garden. Sthalam is the temple campus and Vriksham means trees. According to the Agamas, it is mandatory for every temple to have a Sthala Vriksham, just as it is to have an Urchavar, Vahanam, Stambam, and so on. There are trees assigned for every deity, the 9 planets, and the 27 stars. Along with other trees and plants, the temple gardens of Lord Shiva have the bilva trees and darba grass. Ganesha temples have the peepal trees. Amman temples have neem trees and coconut trees, and so on. All of these Sthala Vrikshams are of immense medicinal value. Some of them are endangered species, and some of them are conserved in fossilized form. In other words, the Sthala Vriksham in the temple gardens are a conservatory for Ayurvedic and Siddha medicinal trees. Let's see what draining the Abhishegam components onto the temple gardens can do for the Sthala Vriksham and other trees and plants. Milk, curd, and coconut water are excellent plant fertilizers, disinfectants, insecticides, and fungicides. Molasses promotes soil quality. Honey and turmeric are good antifungal and antibacterial feed for trees and plants. But these components will be beneficial only when they are diluted. So when the priest pours 2 or 3 pots of water on the idol, he is not just washing away the components, but simultaneously diluting the fertilizers. So the food item that is used to moisturize and maintain the idols is then recycled and used as organic fertilizers for the medicinal trees and plants. So someone is being fed after all. The world needs trees too. The fact that milk can be a fertilizer was discovered accidentally by an American farmer in 2002. But this knowledge is so latent in the Indian lifestyle that we could not pick it out individually. If the temple near you does not follow this practice, you can get in touch with the temple authorities and do the needful. About the poor being fed. Amman temples offer barley porridge in the summer month of Chittirai. This porridge is supposed to cool your body down and protect you from heat strokes and chickenpox. Vishnu temples offer panagam, tamarind rice and curd rice. Hanuman temples offer black gram dosa and vada and so on. Temples also organize annadana, some of them on daily basis and some on occasions. Everyone is welcome to have their fill. Devotees are free to donate money or food grains. They can also volunteer to serve food to the people who come to eat. If the temple near you does not follow this practice, you can get in touch with the temple authorities and do the needful. When a literary work gets translated from one language to another, the story tends to lose a bit of its meaning or essence because the language in which it is translated to does not have words of the same effect as the original language. That is called lost in translation. Likewise, when a tradition is handed over from one generation to the other, its practices tend to lose meaning and fail to make sense because the successive generations might be too busy in tackling different social challenges. I call it lost in succession. This video is an attempt to restore the meaning of the Indian way of life. I request you to share it as much as you can. Subscribe to my channel Balancing Act till I meet you soon with another video. Vanakkam.